Israel is gaining significant ground among the countries of Central America, the Caribbean, Africa, and Asia, but losing badly in Europe. That is according to a breakdown of how countries in the UN voted regarding Jerusalem on Thursday, compared to how they voted in 2012 on whether to admit Palestine as a non-member observer state. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has made the making of diplomatic inroads into Africa, Latin America, and Asia the hallmark of his foreign policy, said on CNN over the weekend that it may take about 10 years before the absurd automatic majority against Israel may change. Be the first to know. Join our Facebook page. Function D S ID var JS FJS equal D get elements tag name S 0 if D get element bid ID return JS equal D createlment S JS.id equal ID JSSRC equal / connect facebook.net/n_us/all JS number XFBML equal 1 and app ID equal 1634148068997 FJS parent node insert before JS FJS document script Facebook JS SDK. If the current trend holds, it will take another 14 years before the Palestinians will no longer be able to muster 50% of the 193-member body to vote against Israel in the November 2012 vote. 138 states or fully 71.5% of the General Assembly backed the Palestinians and voted against Israel, and another 55 either abstained or did not vote. By comparison, on Thursday 128 countries, or 66.3% of the General Assembly, voted against Israel, a net gain this time of just over 5%. If 5% of the General Assembly moves in Israel's direction every 5 years, then by the year 2032, the automatic majority will be chipped away. The region that showed the greatest shift toward Israel when comparing these two votes is the Caribbean. In 2012, fully 77% of the 13 Caribbean states at the UN voted against Israel, a number that was whittled down this time to only 38%. Most significantly, Jamaica and the Dominican Republic switched from voting against Israel to abstaining this time. Not far behind the Caribbean islands in percentage shift toward Israel was Central America. In 2012, 6 of the 8 Central American states, or 75%, voted against Israel. Last week, only 3, Belize, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua did so. Most significantly, Mexico changed from voting against Israel to abstaining, and both Guatemala and Honduras were among the 9 countries that voted with Israel and the U.S. In 2012, Honduras voted against Israel, while Guatemala abstained just weeks after the U.S. announced its embassy move. Guatemalan President Jimmy Morales announced that he had instructed his foreign ministry to follow suit and begin moving the embassy to Jerusalem. The change in South American voting was much less pronounced, though Argentina's switch from voting against Israel in 2012 to abstaining on Thursday was a sign of how much relations between Jerusalem and Buenos Aires have improved since President Mauricio Macri was elected in 2014. Still, 9 of South America's 12 countries voted against Israel last week, compared to 10 in 2012. There was a 12.5% shift in Israel's favor in Asia, though India's vote against Israel this time, as they did in the 2012 ballot, was surely a disappointment for Netanyahu, who has cultivated very close ties with Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, and will be traveling there next month. In 2012. Fully 91% of the 32 Asian countries in the UN voted against Israel, compared to 78% this time. Among the countries that did not vote against Israel on the Jerusalem issue, but did so in 2012, were Bhutan, Georgia, the Philippines, Turkmenistan, Timor-Leste and Myanmar. A similar improvement was recorded in Africa, where Netanyahu has traveled 3 times in the last 18 months, and where he is trying to make significant inroads based on the interest there for Israeli expertise in water management, agriculture, technology, and security. These efforts have paid off to a certain degree, but perhaps not as much as could have been expected. There was an 11% tilt toward Israel this time, with 68.5% of the 54 African countries voting against Israel, as opposed to some 79.5% in 2012. The 10 African countries that changed their votes in Israel's favor were Kenya, Zambia, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sierra Leone, São Tomé Príncipe, Lesotho, Benin, South Sudan, and the Central African Republic.